Good evening, Internet, your health. And full disclosure, tonight is not going to be played at anything like half speed because we are doing John Petrucci from Dream Theatre, who I can only assume, having looked at the evidence, has made some sort of deal with Satan. Now, all four licks that we're going to look at here are in fact drawn from two solos. The first from Pull Me Under, and the other three from Answering the Call. And it should be noted that in 28 days of transcribing his material, I didn't manage to finish Answering the Call. That's a measure of how dense and complicated his playing is. There's so much, and it's so fast. However, even the densest, most ridiculously terrifying licks, we can, whilst mortals, we can normally still learn a little something from them. So we're going to kick off with lick one. Like I say, I'm not going to attempt to replicate Petrucci speed. We're going to go through this slowly, you'll understand how it works, and then you can nick the ideas, apply it to your own regular playing. So I'm starting off with a C-sharp minor arpeggio. There's my shape there. 14th fret B string, that's my root note. 12th fret high E, that's my minor third, and 16th fret on the G, that's my G sharp, that's my fifth. We've got a little 6-note pattern going on here, so we can count 1 and L, 1 and L. I think he's something along those lines. And he does on beat 3 alter it, so you grab an A on the first beat rather than the G sharp. And then we run into this little run down here. So this is using elements of the Dorian mode, it's using elements of the natural minor scale, and it's using elements of the harmonic minor scale. So I'm starting there with a hammer, picking the 12th fret, hammering the 15th fret, the high E, pull off the 14th, back down to 12th, and then I'll roll over. I have a suspicion that Petrucci just does a little roll down like that, fret, hand, hammer on, slide back to 10th fret, bring in the 12th, 13th and 10th fret, so that's got the clash there between C sharp, major 6 from the Dorian, C natural, flat 6 from the minor, then going down onto the G, and sliding back from the 9th fret E to the 8th fret D sharp. Give that spicy E harmonic minor feel. Obviously, check the blog for the tab. I'm not going to go and belabor every single fingering of every single note with beer all night. I'll put a link to all the tab in the description as per usual. If you've followed this channel, you probably know the drill. If you're new to this channel, welcome. You have come in at the deep end. So, as I say, this isn't Petrucci speed, this isn't even close, but it's an idea of what it sounds like the whole way through. Interestingly enough, considering it starts on C sharp minor, it actually ends on a D. So we can see there's a kind of a bit of a Phrygian vibe to this as well, in the flat 2. Right, moving on then. So this next one is drawn from Answering the Call, and it's actually been chock full of ideas that I've nicked this month. This is all based around a pair of diminished 7 arpeggios. I say a pair, I suppose technically it's the same arpeggio. Got an F sharp diminished 7 here. Now, if you don't know about diminished 7s, let me fill you in a little bit. A diminished 7 is built from a root, a flat 3rd, a flat 5th, and a double flat 7th, which is a 6th by any other name. What this means is that you're left with a chord, which, as you can see, is minor 3rd stacked on minor 3rd stacked on minor 3rd, so it is symmetrical. Now, this brings up some rather interesting things that we can do with it. Taking my example here in G, I have G, B, D flat and E. So that's G diminished 7. But wait, there's more. If I start from B flat, I am left with, oh look, B, D flat, E, G. If I go go from D flat, I get D, E, G, B flat. Strangely familiar. And if I go from E, I get E, G, B flat, D flat. And I think you're starting to see the pattern now. So there are in fact only 3 different diminished 7 chords, because every diminished 7 is in fact 4 diminished 7, which means that you can do wonderful things like this with them. So if I were to take this F sharp, and that's all going to work across the same chord because I'm moving it a minor third up at a time. He doesn't do that. It's not what this lick is about, but it's something cool to play with. And there's going to be a video coming on the diminished 7 arpeggio and U, because there's lots of fun you can have with these things. Back to the plot. Right, so tabbed out in the block, and I'm just going to play through now. So basically what's happening is we're going from this F sharp diminished 7 to this one, and we've got a couple of minor third slides in there. And then coming back down, taking count, not completely parallel, because we've got that little jump between the B string and the G string. And you see him go behind that to the D sharp note there. That's fine, D sharp, that's still a part of our arpeggio. And again, nowhere close to Petrucci speed, but it gives you an idea of lots of the fun things that you can do with these diminished 7s. Moving on to lick 3. Now this is pure chromaticism, and this does seem to be a big feature of his playing. Bit of a signature technique. Now the interesting thing here really is the rhythms that he's playing. He's playing in groups of 5. Now, counting 5 notes to a beat, as I think we may have discussed before on the channel, is quite difficult. Saying a 5-syllable word to a beat, though, that's not particularly difficult. I use the word opportunity. Opportunity. Should have used the other hand. Opportunity. So if I'm counting here 2 lots of 5, opportunity, opportunity. I'm going to do the same thing on the B string. Sorry, I should say, going from 13 chromatically to 16 and back again, G sharp up to B and back again. Opportunity, 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 onto the E, opportunity, opportunity, then going a minor third bump up. And here, sorry, here he's using 7s. Now I'll count this as what an opportunity, what an opportunity. And then he's just holding that as there. I'd recommend as well, if you're not used to playing fast pick packages like that, fast pick passages like that, it's a good job we've only got like 2 viewers, isn't it? You might notice that I'm saying angling my pick a little bit. Now basically what's happening here is if you pick with the flat part of your pick, there's quite a lot of resistance, and that ultimately is going to slow you down. So what I'm doing here is picking diagonally, angling it slightly. It's almost a slicing down. What happens here is there's less resistance as I strike the pick diagonally with the vertical surface than there would be flapping that up. Less resistance means I can be quicker because I'm doing less. It's economy of motion, and that's where speed and accuracy comes from. If you want to play faster, do less. That's really one of the big secrets. It's how you do less that's the tricky bit. But the principle of economy of motion holds very true here. Okay, moving on to the big kahuna for the last one. Now I'm going to split this one down. This is actually really cool. It's really bluesy sounding. there's a lot of things in here which are very atonal, but you can still sort of apply them. So I want you to try and think about this from the position of, I'm going to say, let's think about this from the position of C sharp blues. Bear with me. So there's our root note here. And then I've got a mix. There's my minor third. There's my fifth. So we're kind of using we're thinking about the same arpeggio shape from lick 1. And I'm going to go behind that to get my flat 5. As we all know, that's the blues note. Sorry. There we go. Down to your root. Back to that flat 5. Back to the root. And minor third. And I'm ending the first half of that lick on the G note there, the flattened 5th. And then for the second part of the lick, I start by sliding from F on the 15th fret of the D string to E, fret down from it, and hammer on back into it from the 13th fret E flat. So there's the chromaticism. And then, oh look, G, B flat, D flat, E. There's another diminished 7. So we can now start to put all that together. And then I'm going to do this little quirky, very bluesy, very pentatonic lick with a couple of chromatic passing notes. Listen to that. That's pure Jimmy Page there. Well, that wasn't working. Now, fingering wise, you're going to want to use your first finger for that first bend on the 19th fret B. And then I can just go middle finger, third finger, little finger. Bring my middle finger down to bend the 19th fret the second time around. And I'm finishing off on my C sharp root. Now, I've just had a really good idea to do a little bit of C sharp loop and show you how you might use this in a regular blues if you're not playing at Petrucci face melting speed. And forgive me whilst I clear the loop that's already on there. Just so you know that it's all live. So I'm going to use a C sharp minor 7 chord here. 3, 4. Slow it down and play it in a different context. It's a really tasty little lick. I'm not even going to attempt the warp speed Petrucci does with all these things. But there we go. So you can still, even taking the absurdly complicated licks of a Petrucci or a Vyers we'll be doing next week and slowing them down, you can still learn an awful lot from them. Take patterns away that you can practice and make your own. And certainly, as I say, with the diminished 7 trick, that's something that we're going to be doing a whole video on at some point in the not too distant future. Okay, well, thanks for bearing with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been of some use to you. I'm sure if you're on YouTube, you all know the drill by now. Please do like, share and subscribe. It's drop a like and smash the subscribe button, and at some point I will get the hang of saying that with a straight face. But until that point, I will see you all next month. All the best.